This is ContactTalkRadio.com. Consciousness in action. And you are taking action into your consciousness by tuning into Contact Talk Radio.
And on TuneIn.com, Ping.fm, and UpSnap Mobile.
Contact Talk Radio.
Throughout the nation and around the globe, from his heart to yours, it's Dear James Live on the radio, here on the Contact Talk Radio Network, bringing you intuitive insight, answers, and advice to your life questions.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dear James Live on the radio, here on the Contact Talk Radio Network. Today is Express Yourself 7.0, Tell It Like It Is, and then hear what Dear James has to say. And I am coming to you live from the incredibly beautiful Santa Fe, New Mexico. It has been just an amazing 4 days here, and I'm very excited about the show. I have Carmen holding, so Carmen, stay with us, and I will get to you just quickly as I can. I want to do a few opening remarks. The show is Express Yourself, Tell It Like It Is, and then hear what Dear James has to say. The first 2 callers, or even perhaps 3 callers today, will receive a free 30-minute intuitive consultation with myself, Dear James. And so the phone lines are open. Calling in is 877-230-3062. Have the courage to call in and tell me what's going on in your life, and then hear what the universe has to say. Again, toll-free number. The call is free. The intuitive insight, answers, and advice, priceless. 877-230-3062. Quickly, before I go to Carmen, I want to give a shout-out to the class of 1984 from Clayton, New Mexico. I attended school there, and it's one of my most amazing life memories of childhood and so forth and growing up. So to the class of 1984 in Clayton, New Mexico, happy 30 years. And I also, it's very funny, I am staying in a beautiful hotel here in Santa Fe, and the surroundings are just incredibly nurturing. And I came in the first night, and the chocolate on my pillow is wrapped with a wrapper that says, love yourself. And you often hear me say, wrap yourself in goodness. And I got to thinking about the fact that in order to wrap ourselves in goodness, we have to love ourselves. And so first and foremost, if you're having a rough time, if you're having a challenging time, if you're having a great time, love yourself. Love, love, love yourself. Because the more you love yourself, the greater the journey, the greater the ease, the greater you will transcend whatever is holding you back and holding you up. So just remember that. It was a really beautiful message. Love yourself. And so thank you, universe, for placing that on my pillow and reminding me to love myself. All right, so I want to go. Again, it's Express Yourself 7.0, live from Santa Fe, New Mexico. I want to take my first caller, Carmen from Colorado. Hello, Carmen.
Hi, James.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Thanks for calling in.
You bet.
So what's going on?
Well, I'm looking for the next step in my life. I feel like I'm walking without any kind of direction.
Yeah, okay. I do see, right off the bat, I do see that you are, as I get it, you're walking in darkness. That there's somewhat of a cloud hanging over you. They're saying to me that it's a man-made or self-made cloud. What's going on with the relationships?
Children? I'm separated from my husband, and I have one child.
Right. So there's stuff. Okay. So because what I instantly saw was children, marriage, things of this nature. That there's kind of a cloud. Are things still playing out? There's still legalities, if you will, that are playing out, or undecided, or back and forth. Is that?
Yeah, it's undecided, back and forth.
Right. Okay. So here's what they're saying to me. You entered this relationship with your eyes wide open, meaning, you know, when you strap on the tool belt and you've got all your tools and you're the fix-it girl?
Yep.
And you saw this as a really good challenge, like you were up for the task. You were going to fix this man. You were going to have a great life. You're going to fix this man. And you kind of came along and realized that none of the tools in your arsenal or your tool belt were big enough. The challenge was maybe he has a lot of anger issues, and I'm getting the anger, alcoholism, things of that nature. Is that playing out?
It's in the family. That's correct.
Okay, so there's a lot of residue. There's a lot of things that, you know, this was a lesson, Carmen, for you, to realize, you know, you have a great light. They're showing me that you're kind of this beacon of light, and that you've dimmed yourself. You have really, by taking on this challenge, you've kind of willfully, and when I use the term willfully, you willfully chose to put on the tool belt and, you know, and go fix this guy. And I'm, you know, kind of being tongue in cheek a little bit about that, but I'm not. And what they're saying is that you then willfully chose to dim your light. You chose to. Okay, so this has to do with your self-worth, and it's very funny that I opened the show with, you know, and they're sitting here in front of me, these lovely chocolates that I haven't eaten yet, that say "love yourself," because, you know, I know, right? I love dark chocolate, and I'm sitting here like, God, those look good. But they say "love yourself," and if I eat them, yeah, that's loving myself. But, you know, I keep looking at them. Don't mean to digress, but the point is, this was about self-worth. This was about you realizing that your light is incredibly bright. And so you have the power, just as you had the power to walk into this relationship, you have the power to exit it the way you choose. And you'll often hear me say, it's not why you leave, but how you leave.
Sure.
And there's a myriad of reasons why people get into relationships or why they get out of them. But it's how we enter and exit that really matters, that leaves the lasting mark. Because, sure, you know, if you'll choose, and I know that there's, you know, he's, I get that you left him. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Right. And he's not happy about that. He's not
right.
happy that you have basically, in his mind, abandoned him. And, you know, he's making a judgment call of himself that you're saying you're not good enough, meaning he's not good enough for you. And that's not really what took place here. It's all the heavy lifting that you've done. And so now he has to deal with his own issues. But the point here is you have the ability to walk away. What they're saying to me is walk away free and clear. You don't want to be attached to this man. You don't want or need anything from this man. You've already learned it. Right. And the distinction would be, if you choose to stay and battle and you know, elongate and take or whatever, then what you're really saying to yourself is, I haven't learned the lesson. I'm still needing more of it, and it's going to elongate this lesson. But if you realize that, wow, I have the power. You know, I have my power. And I don't mean power over him. I mean power. You have your own innate light and power. And thereby you have the ability to say, I'm just going to exit gracefully and go. I'm done. I'm going to put a period at the end of this sentence. I'm done with this relationship. I'm done with this lesson. And by doing that, you free yourself, you free your soul to actually embark on a whole new journey, whole new opportunities. And, you know, there's I see all of the universe behind, you know, their wings are flapping and applauding, and, you know, which means to me, there's great prizes, great gifts, great opportunities for you. You just have to be willing to put the period at the end of the sentence.
Okay.
That's really what's taking place here. And with that, just trust that if you put the period at the end of the sentence, and we'll talk more about this in our, private consultation, but if you'll put the period at the end of the sentence here and just completely pivot away, leave it all behind, let it go, and feel as if you're stepping out of old skin, and how a caterpillar becomes a butterfly becomes a caterpillar becomes a butterfly. It's these transformations. Just visually see yourself shedding all that old skin, and the universe is going to be right there saying, Carmen, look this way, this direction, come over here. And things will go boom, boom, boom in the most brilliant way for you. They truly will. You have great light. There was some karmic stuff going on in this relationship, but that's fundamentally, that's what you're meant to do. Don't get stuck in your old story. I call that the cesspool.
Right.
Nobody likes what that smells like.
Right.
Least of all the person in it, and thereby move yourself forward. Just completely. What I'm trying to say to you is, you're going to rebuild, and you're going to rebuild really well if you'll choose to let go of all of the past.
Okay.
You see what I'm getting at?
I sure do.
Right. So don't get caught up in tit for tat. Don't get caught up in all of this longevity stuff. If there were papers that you need to sign, read everything over carefully, because Mercury is in retrograde. So,
right.
But maybe just signal to your counsel or whatever, you know what? I want this over. I'm done. What do we need to do? And let that person formulate a quick, fast, but clear exit.
Right.
And just look everything over, and or don't sign until after the 3rd of July. Just kind of take this time. It's only you're a week out, so and there's a holiday and all that good stuff. So just elongate those things out, but get everything in motion. Place things in motion to get yourself completely free.
Okay.
And from there, boom, it'll happen. But we'll go into more of it when on your private call. All right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Carmen, so much.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a blessed and beautiful day. So again, today is Express Yourself, Tell It Like It Is, and then hear what Dear James has to say. We are coming to you live from the beautiful Santa Fe, New Mexico. If you have not been here, I recommend it. It is my first time here in Santa Fe, and it is just an amazingly beautiful, beautiful location. The energy, the beauty, the natural beauty here is really quite nourishing for the soul. And it's been a really great 4 days. A little sad to leave tomorrow, but it will be an amazing memory that I carry. Again, have the courage to call in live. The number is 877-230-3062. And as in Carmen's case, the tie-in was about loving yourself. And I think that that's something that we need to remember, that in every situation, we can get caught up in all of the drama, if you will, or the anger, the resentment, the fear. We get all caught up in these elements, or the payback, the revenge, and all of these things just consume our entire being. And we forget that in those scenarios, especially when it's acrimonious and challenging and difficult, we forget that we're doing the opposite of loving ourselves. We're actually inflicting great harm and pain on ourselves. And you may think that you're doing it to another person, or to that other person that's challenging you or harming you as you perceive it. But each time you strike, you're really striking at yourself. I always say that every person, every encounter is a mirror. And the mirror is a reflection of what we need to learn, of what we need to let go of. And so you really want to be mindful to, as I say, wrap yourself in goodness. And in order to do that, to love yourself. You're listening to Dear James Live on the radio here on the Contact Talk Radio Network. Today is Express Yourself, Tell It Like It Is, and then hear what Dear James has to say. The first 2 callers, and possibly 3, receive a 30-minute private intuitive consultation. The phone lines are open. The toll-free number is 877-230-3062. We'll be right back after this station break.
The desire to be more consciously enlightened is innate. Do you feel there's more to life? If so, find the resource that's right for you by going to dearjames.com/resources. You are the reality you create. Make it a great one. When you ask a question, the universe hears you, and in a multitude of ways, they seek to communicate with you to provide the intuitive insight, answers, and advice you seek. From serious to silly, monumental to mundane, there's nothing the universe can't cover. Maybe the insight you receive is exactly the affirmation you were looking for. Then again, it may just give you a whole new perspective on things. And that's the beauty of the universe. Submit your question to Dear James at dearjames.com and click Ask.
Available for private, individual, group, and corporate consultations, Dear James will provide you with the intuitive insight, answers, and advice to your life questions. Schedule your consultation by going to www.dearjames.com and click on Consultation.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Dear James Live on the radio, here on the Contact Talk Radio Network. Today, Express Yourself 7.0, Tell It Like It Is, and then hear what Dear James has to say. These are intuitive readings. We are coming to you live from beautiful Santa Fe, New Mexico. And before I go to my next caller, I'm going to have the great opportunity to be coming to you live from some other locations throughout this year, which I'm very excited about. Some of them are first-time visits for me. I'll be in Costa Rica later this month or early July, in Scotland in October, and Paris in September. So I'm very excited to be coming to you live from these locations and to bring the energy and the spirit of those places, because something that I have been learning, I've been here in Santa Fe, and I have been attending private sessions, multi-incarnational sessions at the Light Institute. And it is under the stewardship of Chris Griscombe. And I've been working with Amy Adams, not the actress. And truly an amazing experience. They are about multi-incarnational experiences and how our, for lack of better words, past lives, which I know that the Institute doesn't use that phrase, but in essence, how they affect our current lives and what's taking place. And I hope to have Chris on the show at some point this year, because the work that she does and all of her facilitators at the Institute is really quite remarkable. And so I wanted to publicly thank them for the assistance that they had been giving me this year, and the journey, because it's making my journey, my personal journey, even that much richer. So I'm very, very, very excited to have been attending the Light Institute, and the beautiful energy of Santa Fe, New Mexico. It is just really incredible. There is something quite peaceful and nurturing and beautiful about this location, and the people couldn't be nicer. So thank you, Santa Fe, New Mexico, for hosting me. And I want to go. Again, you're listening to Dear James Live on the radio, and today is Express Yourself 7.0, Tell It Like It Is, and then hear what Dear James has to say. I'm going to go to my next caller, Olivia from Texas. Hello, Olivia.
Hi there.
How are you?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good, thank you. And you?
Wonderful, thank you. I'm enjoying Santa Fe. It's quite. I say it makes deposits in the spiritual bank, so it's feeling very good.
Well, my brother lives there, so and has 10 years, I think, and absolutely loves it. And we visited him a couple of times before, so we understand. You know the beauty. Yes. Well, and not only that, I was there a couple of times before that, before he ever moved there. Had a wonderful trip there, so enjoy it very much.
Ah, good. Well, what's happening? Tell me what's going on.
Well, I called in because I have had a lot of physical illnesses from the time I was a child, and off and on. And then I ended up with a severe case of rheumatoid arthritis when I was 31, and that's been 34 years ago. And then there's I had a hysterectomy because of all the terrible problems I was having with that, and it just goes on. And back problems, I go to a chiropractor, I get adjusted, and then almost immediately I get unadjusted. And I did, of course, try medical means, and then realized through a lot of study that doctors can't help chronic problems other than suppressing symptoms. So I turned to spiritual means and homeopathic type, trying to do, that's worked better for me than anything, but I still always seem to have, it's like, can't I have a day or two here where I feel pretty good, or does it always have to be a problem with this or that or whatever? And so my question is I certainly don't consciously choose this. I don't get anything out of it. I pray for healing. I want healing. I certainly want healing for everybody, not just for myself. But I can't, and I see other people get healing. I've experienced one dramatic healing in my experience, and that's been it. But it wasn't of, the rheumatoid arthritis. It wasn't, and it certainly doesn't seem to apply to everyday little problems or physical problems that some people would say is terrible, but to me they're little because of comparison. So why have I faced this is my question.
Got it. Okay. Well, as you were speaking, I was vigorously writing because they were downloading very quickly. What I'm getting, Olivia, is that this is connected to emotional losses that you have had tremendous. That it stems from emotional issues, emotional losses and they're saying to me that she feels, and in underlined capital letters, everything.
Yes, I'm very empathic. I'm terribly empathic.
Right. They're saying to me she feels, and then, capital letters, underlined multiple times, everything. You take it all on. And so what's happening is two things are going on. One, by you feeling everything and taking it all on, you don't realize that you're, in essence, processing all of this energy, emotions. And they're not necessarily, and predominantly, they're not yours. It's like you're a filter, is what they're saying to me. And they're saying to me that your auric field is blocked. It's greatly diminished and blocked because you're like a sponge, is what they're saying to me. You're this natural sponge. And so everything's hitting you and it's going through you. They're saying to me, and understand this, you're like the function of the liver. The liver is to purify and keep the blood clean and healthy, and its main job is to purify the human body. And they're saying that you are like the liver, but in terms of your surroundings and your nature and the world. And you need to fundamentally shift, and this is going to take a little bit of time and research, which we'll go into on our private session, but in essence, the quick answer, if you will, and that's I don't even know if I can use that right, and I'm saying that but what they're saying to me is mind over matter. So what's going to have to happen is now you're aware of the fact that of what's causing all of these ailments is that by you feeling everything, by you being incredibly empathic and you taking it all on, you're absorbing it. And your auric field, your energy can't process it all. It's too much. And so over the long course of time, you're getting blocked and backed up. And you're not clearing it. Because right behind emotional losses and all of this was she needs emotional cleansing. So the long-term answer to what's going on is that you're going to have to heavily start on a ritualistic basis, start cleansing, start working with color. And I'm talking about visually working with color. Really start talking and asking your body, what color, where am I holding this issue? And before that, you're going to start asking yourself, what issue am I holding? And something's going to immediately pop into your mind. Okay. And again, remember, this isn't, I want you to understand that if something comes to you and you say, what the heck is that about? I don't know, that doesn't happen in my life, or that's not, you have to remember, this isn't 99% of this isn't about you, Olivia. Okay. This is about the stuff that you're taking in. Mm-hmm. Because if you start realizing, I'm a sponge, I'm a cleanser. But if you clean things up with a dirty sponge, nothing gets clean, right?
Right.
So when you start seeing and realizing that you have these start visualizing that, I'm a sponge, I'm kind of like a natural cleanser for the universe. And this is, it's hard when it's what you chose. And the reason you chose it was because of the emotional issues, the emotional losses. You wanted to better understand loss, if you will.
Okay.
And not from a standpoint. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I just said okay. I'm getting this. I'm really getting this. I can see it. So go ahead.
Okay. It's resonating with you. So so what what the issue was is you're not meant to like everybody. You're not meant to take on the lesson, or I'm sorry, to become it. You're not meant to become the lesson. And that's what's happened here is you've not been aware that that's what your lesson was, that's what you were wanting to learn. Mm-hmm. So you became it. You didn't know how to clear your auric fields. You weren't willing to tap in. So now you're going, oh, wait a minute. Okay, now this is resonating with me. I understand what he's saying. If I now start actively cleansing my auric field and visualizing what are the pains, because what you're meant to do, your soul wanted to understand pain and suffering and loss, which are all emotions. But the trick is to not become them. So what you're wanting to do, and something else you're going to really want to do, and we'll talk again more about this in our private consultation, but you want to move when you pray and when you do these things, when you visualize, shift them. I mean, like a paradigm shift from want to have. You already have these things. Don't pray that you want them to come. Thank in your prayers, just thank and visualize that you already have this clean auric field, this clean liver, these clean, just be, even though they may not have yet occurred, you're wanting to basically say thank you for it already happening. It's already there.
No, and that's right. That way, we tend to forget that, but that's exactly right. Because if you want, you're always going to want.
Exactly. If you're praying that I want and please make this happen, then you're praying and asking from a place of lack, and thereby you don't want to do that. You want to say, thank you for the insight. Thank you, for having my body tell me what I need to clean, what I need to cleanse. And you're going to start. So, and I want to go back quickly because it's important. When you start asking your body, what am I holding? And it's going to give you something. It's going to give you an answer. And then you're going to say, okay. And then say, where in my body am I holding this? Okay. And you're going to and it's going to tell you, and it's going to be strange. And this is part of the work. It's very interesting. Nothing ever happens by accident, Olivia. And part of the work that I've been doing here at the Institute is exactly this. And it's amazing that you'll get this answer. And then all of a sudden you'll say, oh, it's so funny. And I really feel it here. And sometimes it's the strangest places on your body. But the answer is true because it's resonating with you. And the next thing you want to ask is, what color do you need in order? What color of light do you need in order to cleanse this and release it? And your body will tell you instantly the color. Like it'll just automatically come to you. And it might, sometimes it's 2 and 3 colors. I mean, sometimes it's the colors of the rainbow. I mean, it's whatever it is, it will come to you. Okay. And flood whatever area with that color light and just keep focusing on it until you feel like you've sufficiently, like you'll know, and you'll go, okay, I feel like it's gone. Or I feel like it's doing what it's supposed to do. It's going to be a lot of visual awareness and connectivity for you. It's going to be a lot of color work. It's going to be a lot of cleansing because you're the one that has the power. It's your power that's taking all of this on, and it'll be your power that cleanses it.
Well, that's true. That's true. Yes, I understand that. And, you've clarified a whole lot for me because I have always been I know empathic, we've said that, but also I can almost read people's thoughts. I've even gotten close to people where I hugged them and realized they didn't have long to live. And that was really scary. And it's come true. So,
right. Right. And each time what you don't realize is what you haven't really realized is the other half of that coin was you were absorbing that energy. Mm-hmm. And by, you absorb it, but then you didn't release it. You didn't realize you needed to cleanse yourself. There's another thing I want you to do, and this is all, what I'm talking about is from the Light Institute, and I give Chris Griscombe and Amy Adams, I give them full credit for this, and the universe for placing me there and then having you call today. The other thing you want to do is constantly bring in pure white light. Visualize that you've got pure white light coming through your crown chakra and then out through your solar plexus. Right, yes. And start doing that for yourself. Do that a couple, 2, 3. What I'm getting from the universe is a couple, 2, 3, 4, even 5 times a day right now in the beginning. Mm-hmm. Do intervals. That it becomes, again, ritualistic. And what they're saying is, at least for the next 6, 9, 12 months, you're going to need to be ritualistic. God, that's a hard word to say. Ritualistic about this process because you've had, quote unquote, a lifetime of all this energy, and you've got to clear your auric field. Not to mention these other incarnations that you've had. So, because there was a reason you wanted to learn more about emotionality and emotional losses and things of that nature. So really become ritualistic about the white light coming down through your crown chakra, out your solar plexus, and you're radiating. See that you're radiating it and cleaning it through, and you're kind of just see your energy clearing and cleansing. When you go out in public, if you're going to be, if there's any, just, again, mentally see yourself before you go to a mall or the grocery store or, anything like that, or group gatherings or things of that nature. see that white light coming through and expanding out, because that will then start allowing what they're saying to me is a buffer, like a clear zone, a clean zone, that will then start protecting your auric field, so that you'll then, I always say it's like, you'll then be able to study or see, when you can sit in it's like a viewing room that's elevated and they're doing surgeries and you're looking through the glass window, you're observing the surgery.
Right.
That's what's going to start happening for you. And that's where you want to get to within this, 6, 9, 12 months, is that you will then start understanding emotions and emotional losses or issues and cleansing, but from a place of non-impact is what they're saying. Like, you'll absorb the lesson, not become it. And in that you'll then, I get, Olivia, that you'll be helping people down the road. Do you by chance work in hospice care or anything of that nature?
No, I haven't. Although I had a friend go to hospice and I saw what that was like, and didn't like what I saw in this one case.
Right, in this particular. Well, and again, we'll talk about this, but what I'm getting is that this, and not tomorrow, but after this initial period, you may end up, and there's going to be a couple books I want you to read, but there's one is Final Gifts and another one Surviving the Loss, I believe, or something. But we'll go into that. But I want you to look at that, because what I'm also getting is that you're meant to assist people in their transition, is what I'm being told.
I can get that, yeah. And I
did
do that once. It was just, I didn't get there in time for my mother, but another friend, her mother was passing, and they didn't seem to know how to handle the doctors at the hospital, and I started helping them do that, and then helped her mother pass. That was my only time I've ever been around someone who did. So.
Yeah, and I really get very strongly that that's what you're meant to do in the second half of your life, is what they're saying to me, is that you're meant to assist people in their transition. But before you can do that, you need to be a clean vessel, so to speak, a pure vessel. And now you're aware of what's going on, and it's resonating with you that this all makes sense to you, and thereby now we'll get more specific on our private call about the tools, but that's what's going on, and you will absolutely have a pain-free life, if you will. You will. It's the gift you're going to give yourself. So. Oh,
that's marvelous.
So that's what's going on.
Well, the funniest thing was I was getting ready to ask you, right when I was getting ready to ask you about, surely this has something to do with the past life situation, then you brought up the incarnations. I knew that. And it's funny because I just want to tell you this right quick. When I was much younger, in my 20s, I was watching a TV program, and Shirley MacLaine was on there, and she was talking about her book that she had just written. I think one of her first ones, Out on a Limb. And she said that, and I did not believe in past lives. I didn't have any opinion about it one way or the other, but I certainly didn't really believe in it or think there was anything to it. And I remember I was making up my bed and listening to this program, and she said that past life traumas are what bring on present life illnesses. And something inside of me almost just jumped out saying, yes! And it was so strong, I stood up and I looked around like, what was that? And so that was when I knew that past lives were true. I mean, there was no question. When something comes out of you like that, there's just no question. And I thought that was significant because I did not have that. I didn't have a belief in past lives before that.
Well, I will say to you, I am in great awe of Miss MacLaine, and I believe that her truest gift to humanity is her metaphysical work. I say that on my website because I really believe that she was given the gifts of theater and film and notoriety and celebrity, if you will, as a kind of the icing on the cake. But the true gift was to stand in front of people, in front of the world, at a time that it wasn't really accepted, and speak to humanity, speak truth to humanity. And that takes great, great courage. And she's an incredibly intelligent woman, and all of her work in the metaphysical field and world, in terms of her knowledge and the way she shares it, it's really a true gift to humanity. So I think that's what I'm glad that resonated for you, because it spoke to your soul, and I think that that's what she's going to be remembered for most in life, is that. And I hope she's going to hear another 100 years, because she's just an amazing gift to humanity. So I look forward to Olivia talking with you privately for our consultation, and thank you for having the courage to call in. And we're going to go to a quick break. You're listening to Dear James live on the radio here on the Contact Talk Radio Network. We are talking Express Yourself, tell it like it is, and then hear what Dear James has to say, coming to you live from Santa Fe, New Mexico. We'll be back right after this break.
Available for private, individual, group, and corporate consultations, Dear James will provide you with the intuitive insight, answers, and advice to your life questions. Schedule your consultation by going to www.dearjames.com and click on Consultation. The gift of giving is immeasurable. Give of your time, talent, resources, and money. Give not only because you can, but because by doing so, it is already coming back to you. As a people, we are only as strong as the least among us. Together, we harness the power of the collective whole and see through our deeds the power of miracles, both large and small. Find the charity that's right for you by visiting www.dearjames.com and click on Charitable Giving. One person or kind act really does make the difference.
When you ask a question, the universe hears you, and in a multitude of ways, they communicate to you the intuitive insight, answers, and advice you seek. Ask Dear James a question and experience the magic of the universe. Visit DearJames.com and click Ask.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Dear James Live on the radio here on the Contact Talk Radio Network. We have time for one more caller, so the phone lines are open. Have the courage to call in. I know sometimes it's scary, but it's really not once you get going. So 877-230-3062. I always say if you're sitting on the fence, the view may be nice, but the scenery never changes. So move yourself forward. Have the courage to call in live, 877-230-3062. Today is Express Yourself, tell it like it is, and then hear what the universe has to say. And, or I should say Dear James has to say, but it's via the universe. So they get all the credit. And I am the vessel that imparts the message. And what an amazing day today has been. The calls, Carmen and Olivia, have been amazing. And again, a lot of what you'll want to glean from this is to listen to ourselves, listen to our inner compass. We have a true north, as I say, and that compass is always guiding us. It is always telling us what we are meant to do, where we are meant to go. And when we clear away all the chatter, because I can already hear people going, yeah, but it's like, I don't know, and I get so confused, and I'm wrapped up, and that's all craziness. That's all ego and mind and chatter. And when you can clear all that away and just calm yourself down and start asking your body, really start listening, ask your soul, ask your spirit and your body, what's going on? Tell me what this is. Tell me what I meant to do. Tell me what my issue is. They're going to answer back. They're going to tell you. And you're going to have this, oh, that's what this really is. Oh, okay. And, one of the hardest things is us getting past our ego. It's just the way it works. But once the ego understands that you're not trying to kill it, you're not trying to annihilate it, you're not trying to make it go away, you're just asking it to renew itself, to be reborn again, if you will, to be changed in a way that allows for newer enlightenment, better options. Then your ego mind will start relaxing, if you will. And because then it realizes, oh, okay, you're not really trying to knock me out of the park here and stuff me in the trunk. Don't do that, anyone. That's not what I'm saying. But you understand what I'm getting at. The point is, listen to your soul. You've done it your way, and you've done it your way 1,000 times. We've all done it. And that is really part of my own journey. I've spent the first half, what I believe to be the first half of my life, doing it my way. And, I've had some really great runs. I've had an amazing life thus far. But I've done it my way. And what I really feel for myself is the universe is saying, okay, now it's time to do it our way. Now it's time to really, really, really take it on home. And it is a coming home. When we listen, we were born with this soul. We were born with all of this knowledge and guidance. And when we negate that, we're a quarter of a person at best, because our entire functionality, our entire system of being is being denied. So when you listen to your soul will talk to you. Your soul will direct you. Your soul will give you enlightenment and answers and will guide you to your highest point and self and purpose. And that is the magic of the universe. That is what you really want to follow and listen to. And that's where we're going. I'm going to take my final call for today's show. It is Karen from Washington. Karen, how are you?
This is Karen. Are you there? Yes.
Hi, is it Karen?
Yes, it's Karen.
Hi, Karen. Sorry. My apologies. How are you?
I'm okay. A little nervous.
No, don't be nervous. Don't be nervous. You're on with Dear James. How can you be nervous?
So true.
So true. So what's going on? Tell me what's going on.
There's been a lot of shifts and changes, and as we all know this time, right, for a lot of people. And I feel like I'm a little stuck and not sure I'm following my direction. And I feel really strong in my spirituality, but haven't put a lot of energy into developing that to be able to share that out with others.
Got it. Okay.
And I just feel like I could use a little nudge or direction.
Well, they're immediately giving me 3 words, and they're the same word over and over and over again. I'm writing them down because it's, trust, trust, trust. They're saying to me, see, you already know. They are literally saying to me, she has all the knowledge, she has all the tools, she has the one thing she's lacking. This is your coming out party, Karen. Mm-hmm. And you're gonna have to, you understand what I mean by that, right?
Potentially.
Yeah, you have some talents, some talents and gifts and things that you're meant to utilize, and this is your coming out party. And you're reluctant and holding back because you're not trusting that all will be. You're second guessing, and you're not trusting that you're doing what you're really meant to do.
Yeah, okay.
Is that resonating? It's resonating with you, yeah.
Well, it is. I feel like I should be doing something. I'm not sure exactly what that is at this point. And I have I am feeling like I'm getting messages and awareness all the time, but it still is not. I'm not sure how to utilize that. So trust. And I do trust
right.
often. Actually, that is my my motto to others is pay attention and trust what comes to you.
and yet,
mm-hmm.
and yet, you're not doing it because they're being a little hard on you right this minute because they're saying, that's what I'm saying. You have all the knowledge, you have all the tools, you know it, you know this stuff, and they're saying, but you're still, funny. I said earlier, you've got your one toe over the line. You've got your, you're kind of sitting on the fence.
Mm-hmm.
You know this. You know how this works, is what they keep saying to me. She knows this, but she's not yet fully trusting. She's holding back.
I think I'm afraid to give up or finding the balance between the everyday functionality of my family and friends and moving forward.
Right. And what did I just say before the break?
Trust.
We've done it our way. Well, no, we've done it our way. How's that working out for you, right? Versus the universe saying, now it's time for everyone to do it our way. They want a full paradigm fundamental shift to their way. And their way is listening and the trust and the follow through and the action, that blind, willful trust, because that's what's guiding us all the time. And when we say, oh no, I know best, I know how to do this, we get stuck because they, of course, free will. They say, okay. But when we listen, they're saying to me, take your own advice.
I get that.
They're being so cheeky. They're like, tell her to take her own advice. That you're quite, people look up to you. They look to you. And now you just need to, you need to come on home, so to speak.
Mm.
So I tell you what, Karen, because we're close to the end of the show, I want to have my producer Kira get your information, mm-hmm. and that way I want to continue this because I'm getting that you have all the tools, but I want to give you a little bit of extra push, so to speak.
That would be great.
And they want you to be pushed. So
okay. I'm good with that.
All right, wonderful. So if you will, Karen, please give Kira your information,
okay.
And then I will be in touch with you after the show, and we'll get together for a one-on-one.
Sounds great. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for calling in. And again, everyone, have the courage to call in each week. It's an amazing opportunity, an amazing journey. The universe is just, I'm in awe of it all the time. So I thank you all so much for listening. I thank the people of Santa Fe, New Mexico. Thank you so much for an amazingly beautiful stay and visit. And remember, don't block yourself. Don't box yourselves in. Give yourself the freedom to listen to your true north and follow the universe and their wisdom. And your journey will be that much richer for it. You've been listening to Dear James Live here on the Contact Talk Radio Network. Today was Express Yourself 7.0. Tell it like it is. And then hear what the universe has to say. Hear what Dear James has to say. And as I always say, no matter where you are or whom you're with or what you're doing, wrap yourself in goodness. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week.
You've been listening to Dear James Live on the radio with your host, Dear James. Gain intuitive insight, answers, and advice to your life questions and so much more by tuning in next week and visiting DearJames.com.